There's a moment I remember very clearly. Sitting in a movie theater, lights off, everyone's silent, and suddenly I felt that familiar tightness in my chest. My eyes started watering before my brain even understood why. I looked around to make sure no one noticed. And in that moment, I genuinely wondered, why am I like this? Why do I cry so easily? Why does every emotion feel like a tidal wave instead of a drop of water? Maybe you've wondered the same thing. Maybe you cry at the end of commercials. Maybe you tear up when someone raises their voice, not because you're scared, but because it hurts. Maybe you cry when something is too beautiful, too painful, or too real. For years, I hated that about myself. I thought it made me weak, immature, dramatic. The world taught me that tears were a sign of losing control, so I tried to control everything. But here's what I've learned. Crying easily doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're deeply alive. People like us, we feel the world in high resolution. Others get the black and white version. We get every shade of color. We don't just see a smile, we notice the smile that's covering a heartbreak. We don't just hear a voice, we feel the emotion hiding inside it. We don't just watch a movie, we live inside it. We're wired differently. Our brain is more sensitive to emotional information. When we care with our whole heart. When we hurt, our body refuses to hide it. And here's something science actually found. Tears release cortisol, the stress hormone, meaning crying is the body's way of letting go of pain so the heart doesn't break under its weight. Crying isn't a reaction, it's a release. A pressure valve for emotions too heavy to carry quietly. Some people bottle everything up until one day they explode. People like us, we release little by little and survive. And let's talk about empathy. If you cry when someone else cries, that's not weakness. That's a superpower. Your brain is wired to feel what others feel. That's why you comfort strangers. Why your heart breaks for stories that aren't even yours. Why you remember the painful words others forgot minutes later. You're the friend who notices, the friend who checks in, the friend who listens without needing to fix everything. And yes, being that person is exhausting sometimes, because your heart is always open, and open hearts bleed easily. But open hearts also love more deeply than closed ones ever will. People who cry easily are often the ones who have been strong for too long, the ones who held themselves together when nobody else bothered to hold them, the ones who learned to feel everything because nobody let them feel anything when they were younger. Maybe you were told, stop crying, grow up, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting. So now, even when tears come, you feel the need to hide them. Let me tell you this gently. Your sensitivity is not a flaw you need to fix. It's the most honest part of you. Your tears are reminders that your heart made it through experiences that should have hardened you, but didn't. When I cry now, I don't rush to wipe it away. I don't apologize. I don't shrink myself. I let the tears fall because they're telling the truth my voice is not ready to speak yet. Crying is a language, a confession, an admission that something mattered. Something touched the soul. People who never cry aren't stronger. They're simply better at hiding. I think about how many tears I swallowed growing up, how many times I pretended I was fine just so nobody would call me dramatic. And I realized every tear I held back was a piece of me I told to disappear. Now, I choose differently. I choose to be whole, even if that wholeness comes with tears. And there's something else. The strongest love stories begin with tears. So do the deepest friendships, the most powerful moments. Pain transforms us, but tears reveal us. When someone cries in front of you, they're showing you who they are without defense. And when you cry in front of someone, you're inviting them into your heart. That's courage. That's honesty. That's strength wrapped in softness. People who cry easily don't die with regrets of not having loved. We die knowing we loved fully, felt fully, lived fully. So the next time your eyes fill up, the next time your heart overflows, don't choke it back. Don't be ashamed of being moved, because your tears are proof that your heart hasn't turned cold in a world that constantly tries to freeze it. If this world ever makes you feel like you're too emotional, remember, The ability to cry is the ability to be human, and the world desperately needs more humans. You are made of feeling, and feeling is what makes life worth living.